Om Shanti and greetings of peace from Malaysia. Actually, Malaysia's service started in 1982, and I remember I went from Singapore to Malaysia when Dadi came first time, and it was a small house in Lucky Garden, and there was a public program, and Dadi is so short that people could not see her when she was sitting on the chair, so she climbed on the table and she sat on the table and she spoke to the people. So it was really an amazing scene that how Dadi can adjust herself according to the different situation. And of course, Dadi has been the backbone of Malaysia service since its beginning. She has been guiding us at every step as we have expanded from a small house. We had a very small house after Lucky Garden. We went to Bangsar, and then when Dadi came there for the first time, she said, no, you have to extend this, make bigger. So we did that first time. Second time Dadi came, she said, no, you have to put one floor so that you can have different rooms and office separate. So we had a first floor built up, and then Dadi came again. Third time, she said, you need to have another floor. Every time she came, she encouraged us to expand because the family was also expanding year by year. So finally, when we already had the second floor and the hall was not enough for 300 to 400 people who used to come every Sunday, so Dadi said, now you have to demolish this house and make 7 floors. But of course, we couldn't get permission, and so we start searching for the place, and then finally we found the land. 2017, I think Dadi came to Malaysia. She put her foot in the retreat center. We celebrated 100 years celebration in ARC with all the Asian family. It was a beautiful scene. So Dadi has been, especially for me, she is like my mother, my teacher, my friend, but at the same time, she always was, having that trust in me so that she can guide me according to the need of the time. So as we pay tribute to Dadi Janki today, on behalf of the Malaysia family, I really would like to express my gratitude for all the help that Dadi has given us, all the love with which we are sustained by Dadi. And I'm sure the souls who have come in contact with Dadi, especially the Islam community, they always remember her. Many of them remember her as their best friend. So some of them have sent many condolences messages. So I'm sure Dadi has won the hearts of all the Malaysians.
Om Shanti. For me, Dadi Janki is like a Brahma Baba. As Brahma Baba became the foundation of the growth of the organization and given a lot of sustenance to them. Similarly, for foreigners like me, we have taken a lot of sustenance from Dadi Janki. I realized that she is really very, very enthusiastic person, and have such feelings of mercy for others, really want to help others. I saw that when she gives me a lot of attention, and she really wanted me to bring the change in me. So she monitored actually. Often she will ask, how am I? And then she will tell, oh, there's more things you can bring a change in you. Then after some time, at one point, she said, you have changed a lot now. So like this, she monitors, and we really feel that she has that love to see everyone changes. And also to me, Dadi is a legend, though she has left, but she has created a lot of instruments, and the instruments who can take this organization forward. So she is not an ordinary person. And one of the main things that we can never forget is Dadi became the instrument for the building of our Asia Retreat Center. She gave a lot of support. There were obstacles from the government for the construction, but because of Dadi's enthusiasm and the family enthusiasm, all these obstacles disappear after for a while. And so we managed to complete the building. Dadi couldn't come for the opening, but she came after 2-3 years, and for the first time she came, she was so happy to see this complex, and she feels that this is Baba's gift for the Malaysian family, and also for the countries in the region, that this building will do a lot of service. A lot of people will come here, and truly so, after the building has been created, we have done a lot of programs. When I first brought the plan of the building to Dadi, Dadi took the building plan and kept it close to her heart, like hugging the document, reflecting how much deep love she has for this intention of creating this Asia Retreat Center. So really, we are very, very grateful to Dadi. Thank you.
So today, I just recall back how Dadi have sustained me for so many years. We really miss our beloved Dadi, the one and only Dadi in the Yagya. She's not just a creator, a powerful creator, but also a powerful sustainer. I've taken a lot of sustenance from Dadi for the past 30 over years. And I remember in the early days, I would never miss Dadi's class. Every day after Muli, I make it a point to read one of Daddy's class. And that habit of reading Daddy's class, I think that motivated me to churn, to love, to churn and treasure Baba's knowledge. And during Daddy's visit to Malaysia, she sustained us a lot. Sustained us in a way that not only a mother sustainer, but also a great teacher. Daddy's words are blessings, Daddy's words are teachings, and hidden in Daddy's teachings are a lot of discipline, a lot of love. I remember that whenever we in Madhuban, she would never miss coming to share with the double foreigners every time after Muli. And also the way, when I observe and look at her, the way she sustained the souls, whether it's VIPs, whether it's IPs, whether it's contact souls, whether it's Brahmins, the way she sustained is a great deal of tact, a great deal of wisdom, and a great deal of yukti to sustain these souls. So, in short, just to return to Daddy's, what Daddy has given me all these years is, for me, just two things I have to do now. To return back to Daddy's teaching. One is to speed up my self-service, my self-progress, and to speed up the service for the world. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. I'm here to share a little bit of my experience with Dada Janki. Since the early days, I came into knowledge. I know that Daddy is a very important source of inspiration for us. And she has made many visits to Malaysia. And when we go to Madhuban, definitely we catch up with her because she is one of Baba's right hand. There are many things we can learn from her. And one of the most important things since the early days of my spiritual journey is she used to churn knowledge and she used to give us a good classes. No? Those are the days we used to receive Murlis through postage from London. And we used to wait for the Murli to come. And we used to read Murlis behind time, in fact, 2 weeks sometimes, behind time. With the Murlis, Dada Janki's classes used to come. So, during the early days, we do have difficulty in understanding Gyan. By reading her classes and listening to her classes, definitely, we come to understand Gyan better. Because understanding of Gyan is so good, and she can give great classes in a very easy way, her foundations of Baba's teaching is very, very good. And because her knowledge is very good, definitely her yoga is definitely first class. No? Her relationship with Baba, the faith in Baba, her power of yoga is definitely very great. And with that Gyan in yoga, she is able to become such a great instrument way in front for us where spirituality is concerned. Looking at her itself is a great source of income for us. No? We can learn a lot from her. No? For those people like us who have missed out meeting Sakar Brahma Baba, we are able to take good inspiration from these Adi Ratans like Dada Janki. No? One of my first earlier encounter when she was in Malaysia is there was one day where I have to do cooking. After the cooking, I made one sabji and she came into the kitchen. At that time I was there. She put her hand into the wok and she just picked up one or two of the sabji and she pressed it. And after that she said, "Acha, you are very clever." No? So of course I'm new at that time, but hearing such words from seniors makes me blush. No? That is one of the first initial encounter with her. Later, of course, there are many of such encounter. No? One of the last encounter with her in one of the visit to Madhuban is that we have a chance to hug her. No? I felt her body is like a cotton, no? And I can hear the heartbeat. She was just like what I used to hear from our seniors that when Brahma Baba takes the children for a walk, when they are holding Baba's hand, there is a feeling that as though as soft as cotton, So I felt that when I hold Dadi Janki's body, I hugged her. So this is a very, very important experience for me. I know that Dadi is getting old, but then she is there. By looking at herself is a good source of inspiration for me. Now, Baba's teachings, there are 4 subjects, and every day, as far as I can see it, she is claiming full marks for all the 4 subjects. That means we understand that she is upfront, and ever since the door to subtle region have opened, Baba has invited her to the subtle region. It is just a message for us that the time is such that we also have to step up in spirituality as per Baba's inspiration and Dadi's expectations. Dadi has gone to a different level of service now. We as Brahmins, we have to basically step up our own spiritual effort now. Now, when Brahma Baba was around and when he left the body, he said 3 important words: incorporeal, egoless and viceless. But Dadi became popular with her 3 times saying Om Shanti. Basically, who am I, to whom I do belong to, and what I am supposed to be doing now. So I am taking this as the key word for my own spiritual progress, which is basically back to basics of our spiritual life, and started to take off from there and trying to live up to Dadi's expectations that we all have to progress. When the time comes, definitely the bridegroom, Baba, will take us back to the soul world together, but we are also part of the procession with Dadi, and we all can go back together to the soul world. Until then, Dadi is always in our heart, and she in the subtle regions, she is doing unlimited service. We can take a lot of inspiration from her, taking into account that the situation of the world outside itself is inspiring us to pay more attention to ourselves. Worldwide, all Brahmins are in tapasya mode now. With tapasya, with Dadi's inspirations, we all can progress. I'm sure we all can progress more and reach our destination. Thank you. We can meet again. Om Shanti. Namaste.
Om Shanti, greetings of peace. In this cycle of life, many souls come to play their part, and some souls play such eminent part in this world drama that they leave such deep imprints on the hearts of the people. Such one great personality I have met in my life is respected Dadi Janki, the chief of the Brahma Kumaris World Spiritual University. Dadi Janki came in contact with the Brahma Kumaris at her young age. Because she was from a very religious family, her inclination was more towards God than the study at the school. So at the very young age, due to her seeking for God, she was able to come in contact with Prajapita Brahma, who became an instrument to God to share the knowledge to the world, to transform the world. So she became part of the Om Mandali, which was then called as in 1936. Since then, she has played different varieties of roles in the Brahma Kumaris. Her one speciality is that she was a very good student from the beginning. She was always seeking for knowledge and seeking for God. God for her is the most important thing in her life. So all these women, sisters, were trained in meditation and spiritual knowledge by the founding father of the Brahma Kumaris, Prajapita Brahma, and later they moved into India. I had the fortune of meeting her when I came in contact with the Brahma Kumaris in 1968. And since then, I have observed many specialities through her practical life. So I would like to share some of those specialities as she has now flown into God's lap. She is no more with us, but her specialities and the teachings that I have learned from practical life from her will always stay with me. One of the specialities I saw in her practical life was being a good student. She had always had importance for Amrit Vela meditation and the daily classes, what we call Murli. And no matter in what stage her body may be, even if she is sick, but she will make sure that she will wake up at 3:30 and make sure that she comes to class on time. Punctual for study, punctual for Amrit Vela. It's a great inspiration for all of us in the Brahma Kumaris, even at the age of 104. Even at that time when she was not well, she will still wake up in the morning to sit with God, talk to God at that time. And second speciality of Dadi Janki was that she always had good wishes and pure feelings to all souls. She never gave up hope in anyone, no matter how they come to her, but she will create that feeling of hope in them so that they go back after meeting Dadi with full of life and full of enthusiasm. And thirdly, one of the very important thing I learned from her is how to offer bhog to Baba. She had lot of respect for Baba's bhog, especially Thursday bhog and Brahma Bhojan, and she is the one who taught all the foreigners that how to prepare celebrating Thursday. On Wednesdays, even now we carry on what she taught, is to clean the whole center as if Bap Dada is coming to the center. And then in the morning, we need to make fresh bhog, and then it is done with so much of bhavna. She always told us that, it is not the food that you are cooking is going to be accepted by God, because God is beyond taste. What He is going to accept when you are offering bhog is your feelings with which you are cooking for Baba. And she was very particular how we prepare the bhog plates. I remember in London, when they used to offer bhog, they will prepare the bhog plate and Dadi will come and have a look at it and then make corrections, and then only the bhog is taken upstairs. And she always emphasized that at least once a day you must cook fresh food and offer to Baba. And those who do that, she always said, Baba is bound to feed them for the whole cycle, for the 5,000 years. So that is an important aspect I learned from Dadi. And thirdly, she was, she had such a love for people to come close to God, because very often she had shared her experience. Once she saw Baba, she saw herself taking the whole world globe in her hand and showing to the whole world. So which means that she wanted to give message, God's message to the whole world, very enthusiastic for service. And so, sometimes when I see myself not well, or sometimes, you can easily give excuse. But then I remember Dadi. Oh, Dadi never gave excuse, even if she had pain in her chest. Even if she had heart pain, she wouldn't tell anybody, but she will make sure that, she will not miss that service. And once I remember she was sharing with us, you know, we all have the habit after Murli in the morning, we go and have our breakfast. That is the normal timetable. Once she was also doing the same. So one day Baba came behind her and said, Janak, you are already eating. Did you give message to anyone today? So immediately she realized from that day onwards until she left the body, she will not eat anything until she has given some Baba's message, some blessings to someone, you know, so that you know, people will get they get the message, so she has served someone. And for me personally, Dadi always had trust in me. That's a great honor for me. I always remember that from the beginning she had trusted me, you know, and because of that she was able to say anything. Sometimes she will praise, sometimes she will scold, sometimes she will pull my ears. But then because she had trust in me, everything was taken in a very positive way, you know. And of course, I had a chance to be with her in London for some time. So once I went to London on the first day, Dadi said, Meera, go and give class. You know, it was morning time before Murli. That's a system in London. I never had the habit of giving class before Murli. We in India, we just read the Murli, that is all. But then I cannot say no to Dadi also. So somehow I managed that day. But then from that day onwards, I make sure that I prepare one class and keep it ready. You know, I know that Dadi is going to ask me to give a class. So that helped me to churn knowledge every day. So get myself ready. In this context, I want to share something humorous. You know, once one sister came to Dadi, talking to her, and I went to Dadi, Dadi, today this sister is not here. She was supposed to give class. So then Dadi asked the sister who was in front of her, you go and give class. So that sister replied to Dadi, Dadi, I am not ready today. So Dadi said, what kind of a mother you are? You know, a wise mother keeps the milk at home so that when the child is crying, she can give. But you are a modern mother. You know, when the child is crying, you are going to the supermarket to get milk. So I got that inspiration from that day that I should be prepared. You know, whenever we are asked to go and give a lecture, go and give class, so our topic is ready, we are ever ready. So when we are constantly ever ready in that way, so I think seniors are able to have trust. You know, and of course Dadi had lots of sicknesses, and many times we thought that she was already leaving the body, but then she survived. So in the yajna, everybody knows that Baba has given her the title Conqueror of Matter, Prakriti Jeet. And so how she got that title? Because with her willpower, she has come out with many sicknesses. You know, we cannot even think about it. So why? Because even if there is pain in the body, she would not have the sorrow of that pain. She always said, let the body do its work, settle its account. Let me stay with Baba. So she has always used the power of silence to overcome her physical sickness. And it did not bring sorrow to anyone seeing Dadi, because she did not feel the sorrow. So this is the sign of a karmatis soul. A karmatis stage, a karmatis soul may have to settle accounts of the body. There may be pain, but that pain doesn't come on the face. So in that way, you know, Dadi has taught us many lessons. So she would, because when we see her love for the yajna, you know, that is another aspect I learned from her, that yajna is sustaining us, and so it is our duty to sustain the yajna too. So she always taught us that, you know, if you are running the center, so make sure that some percentage of the contribution that comes goes to Madhuban first. Think of Madhuban first and then your center. Then your center will always remain prosperous. But one speciality I also saw is Dadi has this art, you know, this art of inspiring people to create their fortune without asking them to give anything. She has always told the teachers, you know, this is an art, because Baba has taught us it is better to die than to beg. But at the same time, we have to help people to create their fortune. So Dadi would give such sustenance. You know, her sustenance to each and every one of us is like going into the bones. So she never asked, but they themselves will volunteer saying, Dadi, what can I do now? So, you know, in that way, she has made many, many souls into air quality souls. And those air quality souls have taken up the responsibility of many aspects of the yajna. So in that way, you know, even though Dadi is not with us here in the physical form, she has demonstrated to all of us what it means to be an angel, what it means to be Karmatit, so that when now we have to follow her footsteps. If we cannot become equal to Baba, at least let us become equal to Dadi. So because I feel that, you know, if you become equal to Dadi in her stage, then it will automatically take you to become equal to Baba. So let us all cherish the experience of being with her, the experience, the memories, and fulfill the desire she had for you in this Brahmin life. So her blessings will be constantly on each and every one of us. So I thank God for bringing me to this family. I thank God for bringing me in contact with such great souls, so that I can also make my life purposeful, meaningful, and useful. Thank you.